All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. That's right, a new month, the first day of August 2025. Football is nigh upon us, is it not? We got a lot of fun stuff to do tonight. Glad to be hanging out with you guys from Raiderland World Headquarters. It is Friday. That means you tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week. A standing order around this company. Every Friday, you tell us the most Texan thing you've done. Maybe it was plowing through floodwaters in Lubbock, Texas this afternoon, where, like, I don't know, like an inch, 2 inches of rain fell in 18 minutes in South Lubbock. It was pretty impressive to see. So we got that most Texan thing. We got Texas Tech football tonight. Tonight, I want you to tell me the one thing that you think you really know about Tech football right now, about this team, about this program, about this year, about this season. What's the one thing you think you know? Last night we asked you the one thing, the biggest question mark about Tech football. Tonight, the one thing you think you know. And for Dallas Cowboy fans, Micah Parsons has demanded a trade. Do you blame him? And as a Cowboy fan, do you even care at this point? But do you blame Micah Parsons for saying, "Yeah, I'm done with the clown show. I don't have to do it." He is one of the greatest defensive players in the last 5 years. He didn't have to put up with it. Do you blame him as a Cowboy fan? And as you watch this as a Cowboy fan, is it just one more thing that you're going, "Yeah, Cowboys, why do you keep paying for it? I don't understand." Let's do it in three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You start your day there every day. Raiderland hot links this morning, all the cool stuff from around the internet that you didn't know you needed to know, but now you know because you were checking out the hot links and the daily question, which is, of course, the most Texan thing you've done this week. We're brought to you tonight and all nights by United Supermarkets on the United Supermarkets chat line. They take care of Texas Tech. They take care of you, your grocery needs, and everything else. Pro tip this weekend, go check out the end caps in the butcher section and see all the cool stuff that you might be able to get just a little bit discounted. There you go. Thank you. South Plains College, a lot of great Red Raiders started off as great Texans. Enrollment now for the fall. Check out everything they have to offer. Go to their website for South Plains College. The road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. And of course, Ultra Exteriors. That's right. Ultra Exteriors. Roofs. Bingo. Siding. Oh, yeah. Windows. Yeah. Bathroom remodels, kitchen redo, all that stuff. One stop shopping. Our man Warren Taylor will get you taken care of at Ultra Exterior. So let's get it going tonight. Get your comments in on a Friday night. Glad you guys are with us. From Cowboy fans with Micah Parsons, and I mean, I don't blame him. He's sick of the show. He's sick of the clown show. He's seen it. And Micah Parsons saying, "Hey, I've demanded a trade. I want out of here." Now, then there are those who say, "Yeah, that's a negotiating tactic and everything." I really don't think it is with Micah Parsons. I really think Micah Parsons has looked at the last 25, 30 years of Dallas Cowboys football and said, "Why do I want to be among the list of great players who have played here who never get a chance to win a Super Bowl, let alone play in a Super Bowl or get to the NFC Championship game?" Do you blame him as a Cowboy fan? And then the Texas Tech question tonight. What's the one thing you think you really know about this team right now? With all the new faces, with all of the new players coming in through NIL and everything else, the massive roster reshapement. What's the one certainty that you have as we go into August? What is it? You guys jump in, get on the comments there on the United Supermarkets chat line. The conversation and the show will go as long as you guys make it interesting with your comments, questions, and everything else. And that's what we love doing around here. We love hearing from you. I wish we could figure out a way to allow you to pick up a phone and call in like in the 90s and stuff, on the old call-in shows. But that day has passed. Those days of call-in shows and people actually calling into call-in shows, it doesn't happen anymore. We get it, we understand, but you got to take advantage of what we do there on the chat line. The other news, and really this was kind of breaking yesterday or coming out before the show. Dr. Skuvinik, Lawrence Skuvinik, Texas Tech president, he's going to be on the college football board of selectors and all this stuff for the playoff. That's really good. You want him on there, that's a good thing. Cody Campbell, who we find out yesterday, him and Donald Trump, they got this thing going on, and it's good. It's good for Texas Tech, and it's good for Cody Campbell. It's probably good for Donald Trump, President of the United States. But they are bringing back the what is it? The Presidential Sports Fitness and Nutrition Council, which will bring back hopefully the President's Physical Fitness Challenge for kids and elementary age students. And we linked it last night on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media and used it today. The patch that you used to get, and you probably have to be at least 45, I would think, maybe to have had the experience of trying to get one of those patches in elementary school. You do the flexed arm hang, you do the sit-ups, you do the whatever. We were trying to figure out yesterday how far you had to run on the running test, but you got to be at least probably 40, 45 to remember that. They're bringing it back. Every day that Cody Campbell stands next to the President of the United States, it's a good day for Texas Tech. No matter what transpires, no matter what happens on the NIL or the pay for play, not pay for play, all that stuff. Every time that Cody Campbell is next to Donald Trump, it's good for Texas Tech. So here we are. Want to get your comments, your thoughts. Most Texan thing you did. Jump in tonight. Get your comments in. Thanks to United Supermarkets. What is the one thing you think you know right now about Texas Tech football? Is it that you believe Baron Morton is healthy and will be an elite quarterback in the Big 12? Do you believe that the offensive line is significantly better? Do you believe that the defensive front, and I'm going to say front 6.5, is going to be elite in the Big 12? That the players they have brought in, that they're going to be that good? Do you believe that Joey McGuire, now in year 4, has continued to learn and elevate and become a high-level college football head coach, game day, everything else? Because at a certain point, you've been given the groceries. Now he's got to be the chef. Now he's got to cook it up. Now he's got to make it work. What is it that you think you know about Texas Tech football today, tonight, on a Friday? And I know it's August 1st, but really this is the last slow Friday in the summer. So many people on vacation. So many people, this is the last Friday where people are, kind of in and out. Next Friday, getting into school routine, all those things. Thought about not doing a show tonight, but I really wanted to throw it out there. I really wanted to get it out there. The idea of what do you really think you know about Tech football going into August? So you can tell me. You can tell us tonight. The Micah Parsons story, I think, is fascinating. I'm intrigued that this, if anything could break Jerry Jones, not Stephen Jones, not the grandson, but if anything could break Jerry Jones, would it be losing Micah Parsons? That he goes, I would rather play for the Cleveland Browns, who have multiple picks. I would rather go to Los Angeles, who has, I think, 2 number 1 picks in the draft, because you're going to have to make a pretty big offer to get him. Or even worse, what would be the worst scenario for Cowboy fans is that Micah Parsons just says, I'm not going to risk life and limb. I'm just not going to play. That I would rather not play and then go play for somebody else. You know, this is bigger than Emmett. This is bigger than Emmett Smith's holdout in '95. Was it '94, '95? Which what was the year? I'm trying to remember. Holds out the first two games. It's bigger than that because they actually had more players back then, and they really didn't need Emmett. But then they lost the first two games, and Jerry gave Emmett what he wanted. Chris jumps in on Facebook tonight on a Friday, a Friday where a lot of people are out doing stuff and hanging out, but we're here hanging out with y'all. Micah emerges. We have best wide receiver group in the Big 12 hands down. Micah emerges. What does that mean? Micah emerges. Now, the best wide receiver group in the Big 12 hands down. Why do you believe that? Do you believe in Coy Aiken? You lose Kelly. You lost some receivers. Why do you believe you have the best wide receiver group hands down in the Big 12? But I'm intrigued there on the Micah emerges. What does that mean? Micah emerges what? And if you're just jumping in for Texas Tech fans, what's the one thing you think you know for sure about Tech football going into the fall? I know they've got a tough road schedule, and at any given moment, you can talk yourself into the idea that this is really just a ridiculously hard road schedule. That if you can get 2 out of 3 on some of the road games against quality teams, that you'd be happy. Meanwhile, you've got Dr. Lawrence Skuvenek on the college football playoff board of selectors, directors, everything else. So if Tech wins 8 games, they're in, right? With Dr. Skuvenek on the board. I mean, he could not go home. His wife would absolutely slit his throat. No, I'm just kidding. She would not do that. But it's better to have him on than not have him on, right? And I don't know how much power that is, but it's just talking to people. It's just the ability of Skuvenek to be in the room with people that will matter when it comes to some of the selection process. Law dog, law don't go around here, Sabe. Rest in peace, Flaco Jimenez, the last of the great accordion players, the last of the Texas Tornadoes, playing on the Mavericks. All you ever do is bring me down. Take it away, Flaco. 86 years old. Flaco Jimenez played with Joe Ely. The Letters to Laredo album in 1995, which some people say, and we can have the debate at any time on Joe Ely. Some people say Letter to Laredo, best studio album. But Flaco Jimenez passing away at 86 years old. Greatest accordion player. Whatever style of music that you want to ascribe, you know, as good as it got. All you ever do is bring me down. See, you didn't even think I know what you were talking about when you threw up rest in peace, Flaco Jimenez there. We, 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 we delve into all sorts of things on this little broadcast, even on a dead Friday night. It's a dead Friday night. A lot of people be like, "Hey, I take Friday night off this time of year." Yeah, why not? No, not us. Not here in Raiderland, man. We have fun having great conversations, including things with Flaco Jimenez. We do. That said, I'll give you guys a few more chances. Jump in. The one thing you think you know about Tech football this fall, those of you watching, and if you're watching, you can share and invite people in. The most Texan thing you did this week, whatever that may be, and however that may be applied. And then Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys. I don't think he's kidding. I really don't. I don't think this is one of those deals where he's posturing. I really think Micah Parsons is done with the Dallas Cowboys. I truly think that we are seeing Micah Parsons going, I don't want to re-sign. I don't want to throw away my life and my career on a franchise that has proven over the last 30 years that they're not interested in winning Super Bowls. And will that matter to Cowboy fans? So whose side are you on? Are you on Micah Parsons' side? Or are you on Jerry Jones' side? Right? Whose side are you on? JC jumps in on our little bitty YouTube channel, Ryan Hines Raiderland. Feel free to subscribe. Regarding RE, what I know about Tech football, I know many respected folks think defensive front is one of the best in the country. And I agree that they hadn't played together, hadn't done a thing at Texas Tech. But if they are better than the sum of their parts, you could have something going on. That everything we look at, all the metrics, all the different analysts, you go, okay, this has got to be better than anything you put on the field in the last 20 years. I don't know. I mean, you got guys like Romello Height that nobody's talking about. I'm like, when he signed in, I'm like, this is a guy that I can't wait to see play. If you can control the defensive line in the line of scrimmage, everything gets better behind you. I've never seen a good to great Texas Tech team in 35 years of watching it, covering it as a media member and going back to the 70s, where that Tech team didn't have high-level defensive linemen. And sometimes you had high-level defensive linemen, and it didn't matter because the offense wasn't good. But we believe the offense is good, right? Good? Great? Good? I want to believe that. I want to, what JC is saying, I want to believe that this defensive front is as advertised. What do you believe about this team? What do you believe today that you don't think has to be proven to you going forward? Flacco, great human. Well, I hope so. Played on some Friends album a few years ago for $50 and a 12-pack. There you go, Flacco. Good stuff. Accordion. I don't know how many of y'all have ever, a full-sized accordion, ever strapped one on. It's freaking heavy. It really is heavier than you think. I mean, I would have played spoons instead of that. A little foutoir, action on the spoons. But those accordion, yeah, I didn't play it because I can't play an accordion, anything. But I actually got to strap one on one time because the band wasn't paying attention. That's the story I'm going to go with. That's freaking heavy. Good grief. Yeah. Letter to Laredo, all the Maverick stuff, and then so many things over the years. Flacco. Now I get the Mavericks. All you ever do is bring me down, stick my head. Does the D line make J Rod even better and cure a sophomore slump for other linebackers? Offensive line will be way better, but that's a low bar. Yeah, low bar on the offensive line. Let's go back. D line's got to make Rodriguez, Curry, um, everybody in that linebacking core should be better. That you've If this defensive line is as advertised, then you've got to think they've got to use guards and centers to chip and protect, and they can't get out on the linebacker. They can't have what we used to call a free release on the offensive line. All right. And I know we have so many different terms and everything else these days that a lot of the stuff that I like to use, has been changed into whatever. But we used to call it a free release. That the guard typically, A gap, B gap, did not have any responsibility because you didn't have to do anything on the defensive lineman, tackles, ends, anything else. So that allowed them to get out quicker and get out on linebackers, which either walled them off, held them up. You tell me, doesn't matter. So now, if you've got a defensive front, and it's really, again, I think, and we'll see even with the new coordination, I think it's going to be a 5-man front a lot of times. We can call it whatever we want to, 4 down and an outside linebacker. But if they're in the box, I consider that a front. That's just me. That's got to be taken care of by your offensive lineman. If the linebackers can roam free, if they aren't getting chipped, aren't getting walled off. I mean, it's 2 steps. The difference in 1 step, 2 steps in getting over and covering a gap and moving over for a linebacker versus having just a guy in your face, just a guy crossing you, and you've got to move through that. Well, that's the difference in that. That's the difference in Taj Brooks getting 4 yards and 7 yards. That's what that is. All great linebackers, not all great, most great linebackers that have productive years have a great front. James, I believe the defense had to be fixed first. Making stops can help any offense. I agree. Give me the ball more times. We're going to do that. We are asking the one thing you think you know about Texas Tech football today, going into August. What's the one thing you think you know? And I love stuff like what JC's asking there, right there. The domino effect. I think the domino effect on football goes inside out. And by that, I mean lines out. Offensive line makes the fullback, the running back, the quarterback, everything better. It makes the receivers better because I've got another second to throw as a quarterback. Everything emanates to me from the lines. And it just seems like over the last 30 years or so that we've lost that concept in football. Maybe we're getting back there. But that really the most important thing is both of your lines, because again, on the defensive side, if I can pressure the quarterback in a base package, and I don't have to bring pressure either with a linebacker or secondary nickel or a dime pack. But if I can get my 4 or 5 guys and I can pressure your quarterback and heat him up, I just made my linebackers and my secondary better. You don't have to cover as long, everything else. Everything starts with the line. And everything gets better when you have great lines. You can have the greatest secondary in the world. If the defensive front can't do anything up front, it's not going to matter that much. You can only cover out for so long, right? JC, we ran a 5-2. It is what it is, regardless of overcomplicated names. Yeah, I mean it's a 5-2, but it's not a 5-2 like what we're thinking back in the 70s, in the 80s, where you've got, it's more of a 5-1. It's more of an out. They move the linebackers into edge positions. We call edge rushers, whatever you want to do. But it's not, just sitting there going with a right, formation on the offense. We're going to line up in a 5-2 gap inside two backers, and off we go with the cover four shell in the back. That's not what it is. When we say a five-man front, you can have a five-man front and still have a very flexible 2 to 3 in that linebacking, because now these guys can run so fast that your linebackers are basically like DBs. And this is a great point brought up by JC here, that the terminology we use is kind of fixed in the past. What we call linebackers and defensive ends and 5-2 and 4-3, 4-4 gap control, 3-4 cockeyed nose guard, and everything else. What we call, a four-man secondary, a five-man secondary. It's really become blurred on the edges, that the outside backers either side of the ball, what we used to call a strong safety or a support safety, is now a linebacker, but he can still run. This is I gotta get a coach or two on maybe this fall and have this discussion, that the terminology we use for players is really antiquated and does not adequately describe, I think, to the average fan. And certainly JC's not an average fan. He's with us tonight. But that it gets lost in translation now when we start talking about stuff. James, it's a modified nickel. That dang old modified nickel, man. We got a nickel out on the 7 tack, out on the 9 tack. He's coming inside the 9, but he's outside the 7, but he's going to flow out, and he's got underneath flow. Instead of safeties, we have extra edges. I kind of like that. I'm the extra edge. Double E. He's the double ES, the extra edge safety. But no, I think what you're saying there is in very astute. Yeah, I'm going to get some coaches on this fall a couple of times, and we'll have a discussion. And JC kind of nailed it there. There on our YouTube channel, that the terminology in the discussion you got to go, the terminology doesn't match anymore what the players do. Fascinating. Like it. All right. You got a couple of seconds left. What's the one thing you think you know about Texas Tech football tonight? Most Texan thing you did this week. Micah Parsons, do you blame him? Cowboy fans, do you blame him at all for wanting out? How could you? And then we're going to ask you to do one more thing tonight on a Friday night. Go on the websites, go on the social media pages, Facebook, otherwise. All of our great sponsors. Tell them thanks for being out there. And if you like what we do, that's the quickest way you can ensure that we continue doing what we do, by supporting our advertisers. And it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's easy to do. Then you just share the dog out of this. So we're going to have it on our Facebook page. We're going to have it on our website, theraiderland.com. Tomorrow, Saturday column, the Saturday column with no name. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Could be good. Sunday, 5 things we know on a Sunday. But the best thing you can do every day is support our sponsors and let them know and tell them thank you for being out there wherever you may find them. All right, you guys were a lot of fun tonight. We appreciate it. Like I said, a lot of people would have taken tonight off, not us. We're not going to do that. We had too much fun hanging out with you. I got to hit a bunch of buttons now that ends the so-called broadcast. But the broadcast never really ends, does it? Because we keep the conversation going. All right, we'll see you guys this weekend on the website, theraiderland.com.